Hello everyone, I'm Brian Croy Dragon and welcome back to Vox Adventure, starting 34 minutes late, but yeah, here we are. Yeah, here we are. I see. You know, when you turn on your computer in the morning and find user login has failed, yeah, it's an annoyance. It's an annoyance. I had to look up what to do. Oh, yeah, this isn't my usual boat because I realized yesterday that I lost my last night while playing that I lost my boat. Yes, Alex. Yes, Hairball. Yes. What? You're fine. Relax. Relax. Where'd it go? Hey. Yeah, so user login failed. Thought just shutting down the computer would fix that, but no. You actually had to restart it, but yeah, here we are. Here we are. Then I had an OBS update to do. I watched a few episodes of the New Adventures of Lucky Luke, based off of the Belgian comic Lucky Luke, which is, of course, when it started off semi-serious, but yeah, by 1955, 9 years in, it suddenly became an affectionate parody of the Western genre. As for the New Adventures of Lucky Luke, it's a co-production between Canada and France, with many voice actors that I'm familiar with, such as Marcel Janon, Canadian actor, obviously, as Lucky Luke. Even has John Stalker in some episodes. Who I always thought was a Nirvana guy, but guess he's someone who works for any Canadian voice acting company, which is cool. I'm not sure who Marcel Janon works for. I mean, I know there's the Ocean Group, which Round has done stuff with Nirvana, so I don't know. Maybe it's not as maybe it's different than I originally thought, because yeah, John Stalker, I know him mainly from productions involving Nirvana, but the New Adventures of Lucky Luke, not Nirvana related, and Class of the Titans, a Nirvana production, actually used the voice, hired the voice actors over at Ocean Group, so yeah, it's a bit confusing. Yeah, it's not bad. Good. Yeah, the Secret Garden on 81st Street, quite good. Yeah, enjoyed Joe. No wait, Meg, Joe, Beth, and Amy. I can't get the order right. I enjoyed the Secret Garden on 81st Street, but yeah, Anna Frest Friendly. I guess I'll just see how. As soon as I'm in a safer location. Just for, yeah, Anna Westphally does worry me. I mean, let's see her. L.M. Montgomery, did just own a film adaptation in her lifetime for making An American, and yeah, I'm not too happy that they made one of the most famous characters in Canadian literature American. I mean, other reasons for the film being just... Oh. Male T-Bear 99. Hold on. Male help. Male T. Okay, so yeah, other reasons for Anne of Green for that Anne of Green Gables film adaptation being disowned were her being Anne being portrayed as blonde, and yeah, being a redhead myself, though my hair is darkened to the point of being mistaken for red. Still, I'm not happy, yeah, but I wouldn't be too happy about that. Yeah, I know I wouldn't be happy if a redheaded character was portrayed as, well, not redheaded, and also there was a considerable amount of male send. Yeah, just trying to get Greenleaf back up, and when it's so big, yeah, the number of plots. Just, and, yeah, an Anne of Westphalia, Anne is made black, and I have no problem with that. It's her being American and the possibility of her not having red hair that worries me. Because I've heard of black people with naturally red hair. I mean, yeah, it's due to cases of having some ancestry who would have red hair, but still, they had red hair nonetheless. Yes, have red hair nonetheless. Just need blood. And yeah, speaking of, yeah, just, there's things about, those are two things about adaptations that can, make me a bit disgruntled. Making a Canadian something other than Canadian. Making a redhead something other than redheaded. Yeah, I love Spider-Man, the new animated series. Hate the fact that they changed Harry Osborn from a redhead, dark red, much like myself. Oh, for God's sake, to blonde, and that it extends to his father, Norman. Oh, for God's sake. Oh, you're down there. That's fine. Oh, you... Damn undead rights! Excuse me one moment. Yeah, so yeah, the New Adventures of Lucky Luke, based off of a comic that started in 1946. Naturally, naturally it avoids some of the more racist uh, things. I mean, the show was produced in 2002, so yeah, it definitely does a good job of avoiding the more racist things. But in all fairness, white characters didn't come across that much better. At least so I've read. But there was a family. Everyone knows the rain dance thing. Uh, you know, American Indian medicine man, shaman, whichever it is, does. And there's actually an interesting joke in Indian roulette where the local shaman or medicine man has fallen from his horse and can't remember the rain dancer. He just tries doing a whole bunch of dances. And I don't know if this was actually in the original comic, but that's if it's even based off of a comic. But from a bit of research, it sounds like it is, but I don't know. Uh, we first see him doing the Macarena, whatever. Then the chicken dance and later the waltz until he finally remembers the dance. Hey. Hello, Alex. Yes, hairball. Come on. Come on. What are you doing, Goofy? Thought you were going down. Hey. Hey, baby. Hey, Alex. I'm trying to figure out the whole recording thing while having the media thing on OBS. Media source. I mean, we get an echo, but I'm trying to, I don't know, do less echo. If you get the idea. I don't know, maybe I need to start wearing my headset while recording. Hey, kitten. Yeah, so I did a bit of research on Lucky Luke, and each at the ending of each comic has Luke riding into the sunset, singing, "I'm just a poor lonesome cowboy," and yeah, the New Adventures of Lucky Luke does that round, and I don't know if Marcel Chanon did the singing for that bit. Because I don't know, I've never, you know, sometimes a person's singing voice sounds different, but I get the feeling that, well, they obviously just reuse the animation every time for that bit, but they probably just reuse the voice recording also for pragmatism's sake. Yeah, I'm really into the Belgian comic scene. Papyrus, Tintin, Blake and Mortimer, Valerian. Yeah, I'm really into the Belgian comic thing. I mean, yeah, I know I live in Canada, but yeah, North American comics. I get an you live in North America, you get an overexpo. You kind of get overexposed to the North American stuff, you know. Yeah, you just end up getting overexposed to the North American stuff, and yeah, I like the North American stuff. My favorite comic of all time is actually Thor, the Mighty Thor. You know, the Marvel stuff. But that doesn't change the fact that as with any case of entertainment, I want to see stuff from other countries, you know? I want to read stuff from other countries. I want to see stuff from other countries. Yeah, definitely a good place to be riding a horse. First restaurant I've ever seen. Quite, no, not Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Probably an American Town 5 Goes West. Wasn't that great. First Northern I've ever saw was definitely an adaptation of Call of the Wild, which of course I have the DVD of. Honestly, as a Canadian, Northerns just speak more to me. And I've done my fair share of research on the various sub-genres of the Western. And the Northern obviously being one of them. I'm obviously familiar with the... I've never seen any, but I'm familiar with the spaghetti Western. I know of the Eastern, That being restaurants from made in Russia and stuff like that, if I remember correctly. Sometimes set in that general area, sometimes set in America. The beefcake, beef pie restaurant involves Australia, and obviously, yeah, The Man from Snowy River, hardly recommend it. Yeah, and there's a fair bit of subgenres. Obviously, there's the revisionist western. Such as Unforgiven. There's the weird western, which brings fantasy or science fiction elements into it. Yeah, actually, just let me check here. Check that I got it right. Austern. No, not Eastern, Austern. Yes, the film genre. The Austern or Red Western was a film genre created in the Soviet Union and Eastern Bloc as a variation of the Western films that originated in the United States. Yeah, you see, I got it right. The term now includes two related genres: Red Westerns, proper Red Western set in America's Wild West, but involved radically different themes, and Eastern, set usually on the steppes of Asian parts of the USSR, especially during the Russian Revolution or the following Civil War, but presented in a style inspired by American Western films. Actually, I actually find that more interesting. A nice change, an interesting change of setting. Let's hear the German, the Sons of Liberty, and the traditional American cowboy and Indian conventions on their head, casting the Native Americans as the heroes and the American army as the villains. You see, that's interesting. I mean, I'm typically, I'm meaning to write a northern myself, and it's actually what caused me to make Kane, the character of Kanan, First Nations properly, by birth rather than by adoption. He's Mohawk, going to bring the residential schools into his backstory. The villain is a Mountie, and the most prominent villain's a Mountie. There's a lot of things involved in Northern, such as fear of annexation by fear of being annexed by America, so you've got your American villains also. So the American villains, well, the leader of the American villains would come from, well, naturally he'd basically come from the Wild West. He'd be a veteran of the Indian Wars, I think they're called. Yeah, just known ideas like that, and of course, both Kane and the Mountie would have fought on different sides of the Northwest Rebellion. Obviously, Kane would have been fighting alongside the rebellion. The Mountie would have, who I think I have the name for, William French. Yeah, William French, I think, would have been fighting for the American government. I mean the Canadian government, damn it. And let's see here, where is that document? Where did I put it under? There we go, Canaan. Now, as an Ontarian, I specifically gonna have the story set in the Hudson Bay area of Ontario. Gonna have it be set in 1919. So yeah. No, he's not Algonquin. He's Mohawk. Oh yeah, William French. French is supposed to be a Wendigo, and then you have the leader of the American villains, Washington Hammurabi. Washington Hammurabi Polk Sr., veteran of the American Indian Wars, and was even present at the Wounded Knee Massacre. Orders come straight from Woodrow Wilson. Might be a Rougarou. I'm not sure. Yeah, might have him be a Rougarou. But then again, the Rougarou, part of both Canadian and American folklore, just as the Wendigo is, so... Excuse me. I don't know. Maybe try to find something that's a bit more exclusive to both countries, so it's less of an overlap. The character of Canaan, he's 61 years old. William French is also 60. As for the character of Polk, he's he's 60. Did I say French was 60? He's 61. So yeah, and these are older characters, older individuals. Kane has a son, a grandson. He has a half-brother who I just said to myself, you know what, just call him Abel. Cain and Abel. Obviously, that's uh, Abel, I think, might be at least half Mohawk. As for Cain's son, I think I have his name listed as George. Yeah, have his name listed as George, but that was obviously for before I gave him the name. Before I made the decision to make Cain. Mohawk, so I might give him a different name. Yeah, Cain is... his wife was Chinese, so his son is half Mohawk and half Chinese. His grandson, Cain's grandson, I'm not sure, but yeah, his mother's going to be a different ethnicity also, possibly Hispanic. I don't know. Yeah, but honestly, when it comes to the subgenres of westerns, if it gives me a different setting, yeah, that's really gonna interest me because, let's face it, the western is pretty much a dime a dozen due to the constant, especially for us living in North America, it's just the same setting every time, and that's why personally discovering my country's, I mean, yeah, obviously the Northern includes both Canada and Alaska, but seeing my country's answer to the genre really was eye-opening. Finding out it's an actual genre, subgenre on its own, and finding out that there's others was really eye-opening. I want to see more Northerns. I want to see more beefcake, beef pie westerns. I actually want to uh, see some modern westerns. Because the setting, the Eurasian steppes, that actually sounds quite interesting. And hello, look at this fantastic build. Yeah, a lot of it is basically me wanting to see a change of scenery. Because, oh, let's face it, a change of scenery is nice. And there's something funny about the New Adventures of Lucky Luke being a co-production between Canadian and French companies, set in the United States, but no Americans actually involved. I mean, yeah, obviously the comic strip, no, the comic book, it's not a strip, is Belgian in origin, so I guess it makes a little bit of sense. And honestly, the theme song is a bit weird. It's catchy, and it's mainly just music, and the Daltons chanting AGH. I've no idea what that's about. I thought it was some sort of like catchphrase of theirs, but I found nothing to indicate it is, and then it's just something for the theme song. It's mainly narration with a catchy as hell tune. And the narration is mainly in French, and that was even kept in the English version, and every bit there's some English in the narration, such as he is a cowboy, poor and lonesome. And it's weird. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there, but it's weird, it's interesting. The music, the tune is quite catchy. I'm not usually a parody guy or a comedy guy, but it's interesting. Oh yeah, and there's the occasional historical, historical figure. For instance, in one of the episodes I watched yesterday, there was Buffalo Bill Cody, and I'm pretty sure he was voiced by John Stalker. I mean, when you've got an ear like mine and you've been listening to Lee's voices for as long as I have, you pick it up. Marcel Janon, John Stalker, Terence Gamel, the late great Don Franks, Cree Summer, the late Norm Spencer, and the also late Kirby Morrow, David K. Yeah, you've been listening to these voices as long as I have, and you know who they are. Yeah, John Stalker actually voiced one of the Thompsons in The Adventures of Tintin. Can't tell you which one because I have. I really don't. I can't tell one from the other. I know there's a difference in their mustaches, but good lord, I really can't tell who's supposed to be who. I can't remember who's supposed to be who. Yeah, I like animation. I mean, obviously I took a class on the history of animation, so yeah, I like it. So, yeah, I talk about things that I like, things that I learned about, and I'm pretty sure people would find me talking about law, philosophy, religion, and the like boring, so I'll keep away from that, as well as politics. Because I took a politics class as well. Canadian politics, obviously. And I passed with flying colors. And it definitely helped shape who I vote for. And the opinion that no one who actually took a Canadian politics class and passed would vote for a certain party. But that's all I'll say about that. You know, no politics and all that. I don't know, does it have to be modern politics? Can I talk about ancient Roman politics? Ancient Roman politics, that's something I don't know anything about. Something I don't know anything about at all. Yeah, I once talked about wanting to write something like I, Claudius, and everyone's noticing this the television adaptation, and it's just in the last episode where Claudius is shown in the same position Augustus was shown in the first episode, and his son Britannicus is in the same position that Augustus's nephew and son-in-law Marcellus was in, and obviously that makes Agrippina Minor, well called Agrippinilla in the works of Robert Graves, as Livia. It just says the cycle's gonna basically continue, but differently. We know we know Claudius was actually one of the good emperors, and much like Augustus, and that Tiberius, Augustus's successor, was actually more average than anything else. Yeah, but Nero was definitely one of the bad ones. So it's not exactly the same, and Nero's own successors until Vespasian were pretty average in himself. Vespasian was one of the good ones, as was Titus. Domitian, yeah, pretty bad himself, did some good, but yeah, still pretty bad, and should have thought about maybe not doing things that would have gotten himself assassinated by the Senate. But that's not how far I'd go. I'd cover Augustus. No, wait, I'd start with Claudius, go to Nero, then Galba, and then taking inspiration from the Caesars, and obviously the book I, Claudius, because the TV show is actually based off of two books, I, Claudius, and Claudius the God. I, Claudius ends on Claudius being named emperor, so I'd follow suit with that. With Galba's successor, I'm pretty sure it was Otho. Becoming emperor, I mean, yeah, it covers a less amount of time. Because let's see here. Augustus, going via using the Caesars as my reference point. Augustus died in 14. Claudius was crowned in 41. So that's 27 years. that it spans. While in contrast, mine would be a bit shorter. Claudius was around. He was poisoned in 54 and also became emperor in 69. So only about 15 years covered. Where am I even going? Is there... Oh, you've got to be joking. Oh jeez, this place looks abandoned. Oh, terrific. What's the weather look like? Looks pretty dry. Oh, okay. So, it's nighttime, so that's okay. It's just trying to think of something to talk about. I don't know. We've been on the subject of the restaurant for quite a bit. No wait, the first northern I ever saw was Balto. Obviously Alaskan rather than Klondike Gold Rush. Oh jeez, that was long ago. It was a bit disturbing that both the first restaurant and the first Northern River Star were produced by Amblin. Well, maybe not disturbing, maybe a bit weird. I don't know, does Quigley Down Under qualify as beefcake restaurant, beef pie restaurant, or does it actually have to have... Or does it have to actually have been... have had an Australian company involved in the production? Anyway, I'm Brian Croydrigan signing out. Stay straight.